Being with a narcissist will literally change who you are and make you so suspicious of humans. Like, No Narc Sense just posted a video on this, which I'll tag below, but like basically she talks about how being with a narcissistic person totally makes you like, it makes you have to grow up. Like, it takes away your childlike naivete because you realize that like there are actually people like this in the world that hurt people, that manipulate, and they look totally normal. In many cases, narcissists are really pretty. Like, they look good. And so that's why they're able to trap their victims. Makes me think so much of like animals in the wild. It's usually like the pretty ones that preen and like attract the women. And it's the same for narcissistic men. Like, oftentimes they're really, really good looking. And I hate that I'm even talking about this because I'm getting to a point in my healing where I just don't even want to talk about it anymore. Like, I'm so over it. But I'm realizing as I'm on this other side of life of like being over him and like trying to move on with my life that I'm so suspicious of people. Like, I honestly just feel like, how will we know if it's another narcissist? Like, I definitely want to rely on my own intuition, and I think that it is very telling, but I'm also not one to deny the fact that oftentimes our intuition can also be fear. Like, what we think is our intuition is actually our fear and our trauma. And like, I don't want to cancel out a good person because I'm scared that they're lying. Like, I'm talking to this guy and he just dropped that like his kids were coming over for the week because like he shares custody with his ex. And like my first response was like, wait a minute, I thought that like you had your kids next week, because he had like off the cuff really casually told me his custody schedule. And I obviously didn't understand it, because when he told me he was picking his kids up, I was like, wait. You told me that you had your kids last week. And he was like, no, I said this. And I went back and looked at the text thread just to double check and verify that I was not going crazy. And it turns out like he was very vague in his first explanation of his custody schedule. So like, obviously I could have gotten it confused. But how sad is it that I'm just out here dating, like, and I'm honestly thinking that like every man is lying. Like, I'm getting totally suspicious for stupid reasons because I was so warped in the head with a narcissist. Like, I do not want to be this person. And I'm also realizing that I'm doing it with women too. Like, I'll be out with like certain people or like meet new people, and I'll be like, they'll do something and I'm like, that seems like gaslighting, or that seems manipulative. And I'm like so suspicious of them. It has changed who I am as a person. Like, I miss the days when I could look at somebody and be like, just think the best of them. Like, oh, like they're just struggling, or they just seem like they're going through a hard time, but for sure they're just like a good person deep in there, like deep down somewhere. Oh, my light went out.